Welcome to today's explainer. Look, if you are a young professional constantly navigating tight deadlines, endless meetings, and let's be honest, that heavy, lingering sense of burnout, you are in exactly the right place. Today, we're not talking about another productivity hack or time management strategy. No way. Instead, we are unpacking a profound piece of ancient spiritual wisdom. Specifically, we're looking at a translated text from page 639 of the Sri Guru Granth Sahib. And while this was written centuries ago, its message feels, honestly, as though it was custom-made to soothe our modern, overworked minds. Okay, let's dive right into this. I want you to really think about this for a second. When was the last time you felt truly, deeply at peace, right in the middle of your Tuesday afternoon slump? Hard to remember, right? For most of us, our daily routine is basically a breeding ground for anxiety. But this 17th century text we're analyzing today, it serves as a timeless, incredibly comforting guide. It gives us a really concrete way to completely reframe how we interact with our daily stressors, ultimately transforming how we move through our careers and our lives. All right, let's start off with section 1, the ultimate grand design, zooming out from our daily anxieties. So you know the feeling. When you're buried under an absolute avalanche of emails or stressing out over some major career milestone, your worldview gets incredibly narrow. Suddenly, every little mistake feels like life or death. But let's look at the exact words from the source here. It reads, "The one who created the whole world, O siblings of destiny, is the Almighty Lord, the cause of causes." I absolutely love that beautifully inclusive phrase right in the middle, O siblings of destiny. It just sets this incredibly warm tone of mentorship and universal equality, doesn't it? The text is reminding us that there is a cause of causes, an ultimate infinite intelligence at work. You aren't just spinning out there alone in the void, you're part of a massive, intricate universe. Which brings us to a highly practical takeaway. You really don't have to carry it all. Seriously. Unless your actual job title on LinkedIn is literally manager of the universe, you can afford to physically drop your shoulders right now. Go ahead, release that tension in your neck. This ancient wisdom is basically giving you permission to realize that you are not solely responsible for holding the world together. You can do your absolute best work while simultaneously trusting in the grander design that surrounds us all. Let's see how this builds into section 2, dropping mine and yours, the modern trap of comparison. Think about your workplace environment for a second. So much of our deep exhaustion doesn't actually come from the physical work itself, does it? It comes from the constant competitiveness, the ego, the need to fiercely defend our territory, and those endless, draining comparisons with our peers. So, the crucial point here is understanding this concept of Maya. In plain English, completely stripped of any complicated jargon, Maya is described as the illusion of emotional attachment to the material world. For us today, that usually manifests as intense career obsession, hoarding credit for team projects, or just fixating purely on job titles and salaries. It's that loud, annoying voice in your head telling you that your worth is tied exclusively to your professional status. The text identifies this very attachment as a primary source of our daily pain. But the source offers a radical antidote to all this exhaustion. It says, "Give up your sense of mine and yours, O siblings of destiny, and become the dust of the feet of all." Now, okay, becoming the dust of the feet of all might sound kind of intense at first glance, but it's actually a beautiful, poetic invitation to embrace profound humility. It's asking us to drop that exhausting mine and yours mentality, the constant measuring of who has more, and instead adopt a mindset of universal service and mutual respect. And this brilliantly illustrates the real-world impact of these two completely different mindsets. The mine and yours approach, it actively breeds ego, immense stress, and super toxic boardroom dynamics. But shifting toward becoming the dust of all, that fosters genuine humility, seamless teamwork, and ultimately lasting inner peace. When you finally stop fighting so hard to prove you're the smartest or most important person in the room, the amount of mental energy you get back is literally staggering. It's a real game changer. Moving right along to section 3, the power of community, recontextualizing the society of the saints. Now, of course, making these major mental shifts is incredibly difficult to do in total isolation. The original translation talks about joining the Saadh Sangat, or the Society of the Saints. But in the context of our modern, hyper-connected, yet somehow deeply lonely world, we can totally recontextualize this phrase. It's a critical call to find a true spiritually grounding offline community. It's a push to find a circle of people who elevate your thinking, cleanse your mind of those trivial daily anxieties, and keep you firmly grounded in what actually matters in life. So, how do we actually build this? Well, there are 3 highly actionable, timeless steps inspired by the spirit of this wisdom. Step 1. Intentionally seek out positive influences who value inner peace way more than outward status. Step 2. Engage in shared meals. There is just something deeply grounding about breaking bread together, totally away from the distraction of screens. And step 3. Practice active listening. Cultivating this kind of community doesn't require building some massive digital network. It simply requires showing up authentically for the actual human beings right in front of you. And when we manage to find and nurture our true community, the text promises some incredibly beautiful, poetic results. It says it dispels the darkness of ignorance, deep peace wells up, and, my personal favorite, the heart-lotus blossoms forth. Wow, it's such a vivid, striking metaphor, isn't it? Just like a lotus flower pushes its way through murky, muddy water to bloom beautifully in the sun, finding your supportive community allows your heart to open and thrive, even amid the absolute murkiest stress of your daily corporate grind. And that brings us to our final part, Section 4, Nourished with Every Breath, Finding Peace in the Present Moment. Let's bring this narrative all the way down from the vast grand design, past the noisy boardroom, and right into the most intimate micro level of our daily existence. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is the sheer immediacy of this wisdom. The text states, He gives us nourishment with each and every breath. Notice what it doesn't say. It doesn't say you'll find peace after you finally finish that massive project, or when you get that promotion, or when you finally reach retirement age. The wisdom is telling us that peace, nourishment, and connection are available to you right now, in this exact fraction of a second, with the very breath you just took. This is something you can literally apply today to completely change your physical state. You can find profound calm simply by anchoring your mind and body to the present breath. Imagine you're about to step into a highly stressful, high-stakes presentation, or maybe you're just taking a quiet morning walk before the absolute chaos of the day kicks off. If you take one intentional, deep breath and truly feel it, you are instantly brought back to the present moment. You effortlessly bypass all those anxieties about the future and all those heavy regrets about the past. The source describes the ultimate results of this grounding practice so beautifully. My mind and body are soothed and calmed, O siblings of destiny, nourished by the food of the Naam. Just to quickly demystify the term Naam for a second, think of it as a continuous mindful connection to the divine truth. When you anchor yourself to that truth, remembering the grand design, finally letting go of your ego and breathing consciously, it acts as the ultimate soothing nourishment for our completely frazzled, overworked minds. Well, we've covered some truly profound ground in this explainer today, haven't we? Moving all the way from the vastness of the universe's grand design down to a single quiet inhale. So I want to leave you with this final provocative thought. If we are indeed nourished and supported with every single breath we take, how will you choose to use your next one? Will you use it to carry more stress, or will you use it to intentionally anchor yourself in peace? The choice is absolutely 100% yours. Keep that in mind as you head back out into your routine today. Thank you so much for joining me, and keep exploring.